Go now, YouTube.
60 seconds.
60 seconds. We'll let everyone know who you're listening to. Back with Little Johnson Street.
Hey, where was it at?
4200 Johnson Street. Yeah, okay, let's play.
That's Wilcox right there.
Yeah, Wilcox.
What's the name of it? Let me write it. What's the name of it?
Me too. I want to get that Long Road.
Long Road. That's an iTunes.
All right, we're back. We're back again on the Commish Radio Show, and you were listening to Cinderella by Elder Barge Jr. Elder Barge Jr. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. Elder Barge Jr. Why you tripping, man?
I've never heard your voice get that high.
I can't do my voice, my opinion, no more like that.
No.
Hey, don't do that again. But that was Elder Barge Jr.
We switch to another show or channel or something.
Yeah, watch out there. Okay, watch out there now.
Watch out there now.
So there we go. Elder Barge Jr. As we say on the Commish Radio Show, we only play local music because Facebook can't kick us off because we own the rights to this song. Yes, yes, yes. Elder Barge Jr. And also, we were listening to Long Road. Who was in Long Road?
Long Road, produced by Faz Clark of Fascination. Had J.J. Wilcox and Morris Claiborne.
Wait a minute, hold on. Those names sound familiar. Who did you say that was?
Former Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
So they're stars.
And Morris Claiborne currently is the cornerback for the starting cornerback for
but
the New York
I just
Jets.
noticed how quiet it got. He said they're stars, and then it was like,
Cricket.
that was it.
Hey, I can tell you what, a lot of people were upset when J.J. Wilcox left. He was a legitimate safety. They still haven't replaced him.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true. It's hard to get replaced. When and Wilcox was good, man, because he could run real fast. He had wheels on him, man.
He did.
He had wheels on him.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like where you're going.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you. I got skills, man.
You got great skills.
I gave you the segue right
You got to just pick it up and run with it. So he
there.
did a great job
You
of
too
passing.
busy laughing, man.
No, I was
He was just so impressed by your smoothness.
Speaking of wheels,
And you didn't even do it in a high pitched voice. You say you had wheels on it. So he listened to you. Come on, Benny, pick it up.
Come on.
Yeah, all
He had
right.
wheels on it.
So it's kind of hard to keep it going. Hey, so no, Ed, thank you. Ed and I have been talking about something. Actually, I've been kicking this around for. My wife says about 10 or 12 years, and that's coming up with. And I'm an automotive consultant now, ironically, in my current employer in profession. But we've been wanting to do automotive consulting for years, targeting the African American community, but just minorities in general. I want to just broaden it out to minorities in general, because we make up, I want to say in new cars, about 30% of the purchases for new cars, and it's a larger number for pre-owned vehicles. So we have a tremendous impact when it comes to automotive purchases. Mm-hmm. And so the problem with that is a large percentage of minorities don't feel like they're being treated correctly. So, I've been kicking around the concept to introduce to the DFW area. I have a national platform now that I'm consulting all over the country, and ultimately want to take it broader into all of the major cities. But right now we want to birth it in the DFW area, and it's called Wheels for Us. And Wheels for Us basically is a comprehensive information center that we're going to be helping people make decisions when it comes to purchasing automobiles, comes to a decision, and all of the things they need to do to set up what we define as the customer preferred experience. And the customer preferred experience is really expectations that the customers should have when it comes to dealing with somebody spending their money with. And those expectations are three simple things. We want to be able to assure everybody who's that's a part of Wheels for Us. We want to offer them a preferred experience through our preferred dealer network. And these are the three things they can expect. And this is what everyone wants to know. These are everybody's expectations when it comes to purchasing a vehicle. Mm-hmm. Can I trust you? Can you help me? And do you care about me? That's it. It's really that simple. And so our job is going to make sure that to the dealers that, hey, these are the expectations that we want our customers to be able to be met. These are their expectations. You can deliver that. We're going to refer you people. We're going to give them the tools that they need to make a decision on what's good and what's best for them. We're going to help them do that. Now, I'm not going to get into the dealer bashing. I'm not going to make any judgments whether you got a good deal or a bad deal. That's not my role. But I am going to be able to help you in this era called digital retailing. And by the way, that Warren Buffett says it's the most disruptive force in business that we've ever seen, period, because it's changed everybody's business model. But digital retailing simply means that the consumer has the same information as the dealer. And that being the case, you ought to be better about making decisions. Now, there are some other things that impact, your decision, such as, qualifying for credit, what type of vehicles, making sure you think long and hard. If you're going to buy, a German import, that you understand that once you get their car, there's some, maintenance responsibility that goes along with that. Make sure you factor that into your equation. Those are the services that we want to provide with you. We've got banks that are ready to partner with us, especially for people that have some challenges with credits. We want to have some alternatives for. We already have some dealers now that have some buy here, pay here automotive services that do report to the credit reporting agencies, because that's going to be about getting people back on track and understanding that if you do have some credit challenges and you're really ready and anxious to go out there and get a vehicle, we want to try to temper their expectations to let them know that this is not going to be the dream car purchase. We want to let this purchase set up the next purchase, which would be the dream car. But get your finances right, get your credit established, and then find a car that you like. Maybe I'm not saying you don't have to love it, but it just has to make sense with the seat, as I like to say, and help people in that regard.
Now, regarding credit, credit seems to be the biggest issue a lot of people have in getting cars. You working with some financial institutions?
Sure, we're talking to some banks that we can talk to, but if nothing else, we're letting the consumers know how to approach the dealer with their current situation. Because if you have some credit challenges, you can do all the research in the world, and you can walk in there with this price or with this information. If nobody's gonna loan you the money, you hadn't done it. You hadn't accomplished anything, right? So in a lot of cases, you have to work those deals in reverse. In a lot of cases, we'll ask them to go into the dealer and just say, hey, can you secure financing for me? Can you see how much I can get qualified for? And so you can get a pre-qualification through a lot of dealerships. We're working with some banks right now to set that up, that they'll be able to give some pre-qualification. And with digital retailing, everybody's getting empowered. Now we know that there are a lot of programs, and we're working with some banks now, that we want to get you pre-qualified, even if you have a 550 or less credit score. We want to get you pre-qualified before you go to the dealer, so you can still have some options when you go there. And I think a lot of remorse comes when you have the whole situation dictated to you as far as what you can and can't do. And then if somebody tells you what you can do, what you can't do, and say these are your only options and you got to do this, that really does change the experience. You get to get home, maybe you start comparing your deal with somebody else, which you should never do.
Why is that?
Well, people,
so let's just suppose a person gets a car and they a Honda Civic or something like that, and they got the car for a certain price, and then another person a relative got the car for a lower price. And then, one gets mad at the other because, hey, I'm paying less. How did that happen?
Well, even when I was selling cars, I always warned my customers to ignore those conversations, because people tend to exaggerate about several things. How much money they make on their job, what they pay for a car or house, and how tall they are.
Okay, because we're not on
score is.
We're not.
They're going to see the whole situation with the credit score.
Correct. And so, everybody's deal always has some complexities to it that you really can't pair one to the other. Even if, because a lot of times the complexities are credit.
That's the major thing.
In a lot of cases, yeah.
And how much money you make.
And how much you put down.
Well, and you probably went in there and threw all those bells and whistles on yours. You got the extended warranty and all those other things that they've added onto your price that, of course, affects your payment.
Right.
That maybe I chose not to take advantage of.
But what I'm saying today, though, that's becoming less and less of a factor, because now, with all of the competition, with dealers being forced to put all their information online, being forced to, because right now you can go online if somebody in this room decided they wanted to buy a car, they can initiate the search right now from their smartphone. Go to various different sites, get a price, find out what your payments would be, calculate that, get the insurance quote, get the extended warranties, whatever it is that you want to get done, you can do it right now, wherever you are. That's changed the market. We call the market, because of that, the market's very efficient. And because the market is so efficient, there's the least likely chance that you'll make a mistake when it comes to doing your research and identifying what you want to pay for something. Because they have to list it, and they have to list the best price. Now, since that's the case, something else has gone away that people are having a transition with, customers are having a transition with. You don't negotiate as much as the dealerships anymore, because the dealers don't have their margin anymore.
Also, the whole deal about I have to go back and talk to my boss about that.
It's becoming less and less likely, because now if I'm going to post my inventory online, if I want you to look at it and click on it and call me, then I have to have a competitive price there. And because I have to put a competitive price out front, that squeezes my margins. And so now I don't have the margin for you to come in and sit down and start negotiating like you would traditionally. And so, which makes it better for the consumer, because it manages time. Because now you don't have to be at the car dealership all day.
Yeah, it used to be one of those days
You can get all your information and just walk into the dealership with everything you need. You just need to identify who you're going to give your business to. And that's what we want to help you with. We want to help you get an understanding there, even if you have some credit issues. Now, let's say your credit is just, you just had some tough times. We even have some dealers that are at some buy here, pay here. They're going to let you get reestablished. They're going to report to the credit reporting agencies. Those guys take a big risk, because most of their clientele have a history of people not paying loans back, and so that's a risky loan. But they will give those people opportunities, and that's the service that we want to provide. We feel like if we can empower you with enough information, then the end game is no remorse.
Yeah. You talk a lot about the credit and you talk about the payment process, but I guess one of the things that I'm hoping that you guys would assist with is being able to do maybe a little bit more research on a vehicle. I've identified the vehicle, I'm comfortable with the payment, but I really want to do some research to make sure this vehicle wasn't in Houston last year when they had the flood or something of that nature. Yeah,
well, vehicle history reports have gotten more and more reliable. Carfax is probably the best known one.
Okay.
There's another one, AutoCheck. Most of the dealers use AutoCheck. Consumers is more, they have more access to Carfax. But Carfax will give you a good vehicle history. I would recommend, don't buy a vehicle if you can't get a Carfax on it.
Okay. So that's good information.
Yeah, don't buy a vehicle.
Because that's the concern today.
And don't buy, if you're going to buy a pre-owned vehicle, don't buy a pre-owned vehicle that you're not willing to invest $75 to $100 to take it and get an inspection done on it. Take it to a manufacturer and let them run a service on it. Now, keep with this in mind, the person that's writing that ticket up, his job is to find something wrong with the car, so he's going to try to upsell you on something or give you some startling or alarming report that's something that may happen, because that's his job. He's trying to sell service work. But it does give you some documentation to say, hey, here's what's going on with the car. A lot of dealers certify cars. A lot of dealers put money on it. I would put pressure on a dealer to make sure you have as much service work done on the car, because that'll impact your buying experience.
Yeah. So is this where Wheels for Us comes in? Me having a membership with you guys, say, hey, this is the report I've gotten. How much of this should I believe or not believe as it relates to?
Well, we'll talk about that, but what we don't want to do is we're not going to tell a dealer what to pay with the sell a car.
Right.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to be a judge and say, hey, tell me if I got a good deal on this or not. No, we're not going to do that. If you made your deal, you made your deal. But we want to prepare you before that, where you'll be able to. We're not going to tell you what to do. We want to make sure we're trying to empower people. We're not going to tell you what to do as far as what you should pay for. Because we want you to do your own research, because the information is there. It's there for you to decide what's good and what's not good. And I'm telling you, the only way to eliminate remorse is if you make the decision to do what you're going to do, and give you enough information to say, yeah, okay, this is going to work for me, or I understand what I'm doing. I understand why I'm doing this. I understand why I had to go this particular route. That's all people need. That's what we need as consumers, because minorities have a tendency to really be heavily dependent upon referrals and references.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think we just trust in nature, and I think
we don't
part of it,
research?
It's easy. It's easier just for me to, instead of having to do that, just say, hey, where'd you get your information from? how was your experience? And especially if you really like the person, so you just refer them. And a lot of times that's reliable. But we want, and there's some services out there already like where we're starting up, but there are none targeting African Americans. You know, there are some services out there. We want to provide this service for African Americans, minorities in general. I keep saying African Americans. I want to broaden. Let me stop that. Just people in general that have access to our show, our information. We can help you. We can help you feel better about what you're doing. We can help you be more confident when you walk into the dealership. And also, we're going to have a dealer network to help you with that. We're going to have a banking network to help you with that. We already have a commitment from a company that's big with credit repair. They're huge with the mortgage industry. They've helped thousands of people get their credit scores up to help them get ready to buy houses. They're going to help them get ready to buy an auto loan. You know, so we have a commitment from that company as well. So again, this is very comprehensive what we want to do, and it's all about empowering people to make a decision for themselves about what they need to do. We don't want to tell you what to do. Now, we do want to be a good referral source. We're going to have a dealer network that's committed to us, that they want to offer our customers the preferred experience.
Now, is there a website up yet?
Not up. It's wheelsforus.com is the domain. We've secured that. The website is under construction.
And I will tell you, man, hats off to you. I think you're doing a great job with that. There's certainly a need for that. You talked about the fact that we're the largest consumer base in that industry. So I think certainly we need to be better informed as we go out to make those purchases. I met you buying a car. That was, man, over 20-some years ago. I bought a Honda Civic from you first, and then later went back and bought a 2001 BMW 740 that I'm actually driving today. Yeah. And we talked about it off air. You know, I'm having a whole lot of remorse today of buying that car from you 15 years ago. Give me some of my money back. I'm totally teasing.
But I told him, I said, hey, when you get ready to buy this BMW, you know, it looks nice, it's clean, it's the status car, because it's a 7 Series, and it was clean. And I said,
what you mean it was?
It is. I mean,
it still is.
Yeah, it still is. Thank you. Well, good job.
I don't know,
and
man. You took all your clothes out there.
I said, hey, man, I got to tell you that BMW is an acronym. And he was like, what? I said, it means bring your money with you because servicing is expensive.
Man, I had a BMW too. I had the 5 Series, and BMW stands for Black Man Working.
Yeah.
Overtime.
It's been a good car though. Benny did a great job, man. He's a great guy. Great guy. Yeah. He sold me a car and we're still friends, and we became friends as a result of him selling me a car. So you know he's a good guy.
Because I've always considered my role as a consultant, not a salesperson. You know, I've always, and I'm fortunate enough to say that I've helped thousands of people.
You have
buy cars.
You have members of my family as well buy cars.
And my whole mentality is to make sure that they feel good about it. And anybody that's done business with me, they'll tell you, I would always ask them before they sign, do you feel good about this? Is this really what you want to do? You know, because I lived off of referrals, and people trusted me in that regard, and people sent me a lot of customers without checking me out, and so that's a lot of responsibility to come back. But I would always ask people, don't go in that finance office and not be sure that this is what you want to do.
All right.
So Wheels for Us. Right. I mean, you can trust him.
You can trust him. You know, it's just us, just talking, a little bit of man talk right here. This time we're talking about financial responsibility and, having those wheels to go on and around and making it work for you. We'll be right back after this break. We're going to play a couple of drops and we're going to change out to YouTube. And you can follow me on YouTube, Ed Gray, the Commiss Radio on YouTube. And also, as always, on Twitter and Instagram, Ed Gray 1906. All right?
Hey, whenever I want good Cajun food, I go to Thibodeau's, located at 107 North Cedar Ridge in Dutchenville, Texas. They're really hot, just like the Commiss Radio Show in Thibodeau's. Hot as this gumbo. We will see you later at Thibodeau's.